It's time to duel!
Welcome everybody, H here with another deck profile on Master Duel. Now today we have Lair of Darkness. It's a field spell. It's a wonderful field spell. A lot of people don't really like it because you're always taking their monsters. So with this field spell, all face-up monsters on the field become dark. Once per turn, if you attribute a monster you control to activate a card effect, you can use your opponent's monster instead. And you can only use that once per turn. During the end phase, special summon as many torment tokens as possible for the tribute you used. So, a fantastic card. Ahrima the Wicked Warden. This card searches for your field spell, as well as tributing one dark monster, draw one card. And if you tributed a dark monster other than this card, you can activate this effect. You can add one dark monster with 2000 or more defense from your deck to your hand instead, which is great. Because we're searching for Darkest Diabolois, Lord of the Lair. Now this card, you can use each of these effects once per turn. If a dark monster you control is tributed, you can special summon this card from your graveyard or hand. Second effect is you can tribute one dark monster. Your opponent places one card from their hand on either the top or bottom of their deck. Great card. Okay, we got Danger Bigfoot. Now this card, we're not going to use his first ability, which you have to reveal a card. We're going to use his second ability, which if this card is discarded, you can target one face-up card your opponent controls, destroy it. Now the reason why we're using that because we're running 3 trade-ins. Discard one level 8 monster, draw 2 cards. Now we're running 2 King Beast Barbos. You can tribute monsters whose total level is 8 or more and special summon this card from your hand. Now the reason why we run 2 is so we can activate a second ability. You can banish one Barbos monster from your graveyard or face up on the field, then target 2 cards your opponent controls and destroy them. Great card. Now if you got one in your hand and you're trying to look for the second one, this is why we run Foolish Burial. Send one monster from your deck to the graveyard. We run 3 of the Dark Hex-Sealed fusion. You can substitute this card for any fusion material monster. You can tribute fusion monsters on the field, including this face-up card, and special summon one corresponding dark fusion monster from your extra deck. Now obviously you're always going to take your opponent's monster, so you automatically got one, him, and the other monster is 2. So when you have 2, you're going to fusion summon Starving Venom Fusion Dragon. This only requires 2 dark monsters on the field, except tokens. But if this is fusion summon, you can make this card gain attack equal to one opponent's special summon monster until the end of this turn. Once per turn, you can target one level 5 or higher monster your opponent controls. Until the end phase, this card becomes that card's original name and replace this effect with that monster's original effect. If this fusion summon card is destroyed, you can destroy all your opponent's special summoned monsters. Fantastic card. And we've got 2 of him, don't forget. Now we got the elder one. Predaplant Dragostapelia. It's a quick effect. We got 1 fusion monster and 1 dark monster. Once per turn, you can target one face-up monster your opponent controls. Place 1 predator counter on it. And if it's a level 2 or higher, it becomes a level 1. And as long as it has a counter on it, negate the activated effects of your opponent's monster that has predator counters. Wonderful. Now we got 1 Predaplant Triphyoverutum. I hope I'm pronouncing that one correctly. But this requires 3 dark monsters on the field. This card gains attack to the total original attack of all monsters on the field with predator counters. When your opponent special summons a monster from the extra deck, while you control this fusion summon card, you can negate the summon, and if you do, destroy that monster. If your opponent controls a monster with predator counters, you can special summon this card from your graveyard in defense position. Ooh, great card. And we got Greedy Venom Fusion Dragon. This requires one Predaplant monster and one Dark monster who's level 8 or higher. Now once per turn you can target one face-up monster on the field. Until the end of this turn, change that target's attack to 0. Also, the target has effects negated. If this card is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, destroy as many monsters on the field as possible. Then you can banish one level 8 or higher Dark monster from your graveyard and special summon this card from your graveyard. Really good cards, really good selections here. Back to the monsters anyways. 2 basic Ash Blossoms. Now we're running 3 Lilith, Lady or Lament. Now if this card is normal summoned, its original attack becomes 1000. Now it has a quick effect. You contribute 1 Dark monster on the field, reveal 3 normal traps from your deck, and your opponent chooses one, and you set that card, and you shuffle the rest back into your deck. Now your trap cards are going to be devastating for your opponent. We're running 2 Crush Card Viruses. Tribute 1 Dark monster with 1000 or less attack points. Until the end of the next turn, your opponent doesn't take any damage, but destroy monsters among them with 1500 or more attack, and your opponent can destroy up to 3 monsters with 1500 or more attack in their deck. Now, we got 2 Deck Devastation Virus. This is similar to the first one. You tribute 1 Dark monster with 2000 or more attack. Look at your opponent's hand, all monsters they control, and all cards they draw until the end of the 3rd turn of activation of this card, and destroy all monsters with 1500 or less attack. Devastating. Now we're running 2 Eradicator Epidemic Viruses. Similar to the first 2, but you're tributing a Dark monster with 2500 or more attack points. Now it may sound steep, but this time you get a selection of destroying a spell or trap card from the field and their hand, and all cards they draw until the 3rd turn. Devastating. Now we're running 1 Metaverse because it's limited to 1. Take 1 field spell from your deck and either activate it or put it into your hand. Now the concentration around this field spell is important. We need that field spell on the field, or this deck will not work. Now we got the basic trap here. Imperm negates the monster. If it's set, negates the whole column. Great card, great card. Now we run 2 Triple Tactics Talent. Now this card is pretty easy to activate in ranked duel because everyone runs Ash or Maxi. If your opponent activates a monster effect during your main phase 1, you get to activate one of these 3 effects. Draw 2 cards, take control of one of your opponent's monster until the end of this turn, or look at your opponent's hand and choose 1 card from there and shuffle it into the deck. Really good card. 1 Terraforming, add 1 field spell from your deck to your hand. Basic. We've got the basic spells. But and also an importance of Super Polymerization. Now, if your opponent is flooding the field, just activate this, and you summon this guy. I'm not even going to try to pronounce his name again. But it requires 3 Dark monsters, so if they're flooding the field, for example, they have 5, take 3 of theirs and becomes 2, and you have 1. And you got a solid 1 monster. Great card. And for the links, you can just add preferences. This is just what I own at the moment. I hope you enjoyed the deck. Thank you for watching. Have a great one. Hey, ciao.